How'd you like to get behind the wheel of a 10-ton truck? Now you can with US 1 electric trucking.
Welcome. In this segment, we will explore the 29 known unique sets made for US 1, weed out all non-hackers, and lay out what the best sets to collect in 2026 would look like. Tyco made 21 retail sets, so let's start by breaking them down into a few groups. Group 1 could be considered the budget sets. These use 1 to 3 accessories. The Big City, City Hauler, Big Hauler, Army Transport, Cross County, Interstate Delivery 3206, and Interstate Delivery 3208 all fall into this grouping. Group 2 are the intermediate sets, using 4 or 5 accessories. These are the Interstate, Highway Construction, Motor City, Highway Wrecker, and Stomper sets. The third group are the premium sets. These use 6 accessories. They are the Long Haul, Highway Overpass, Fire Alert, and Night Haulers sets. The fourth group are the flagship sets. These are the top of the line sets, and generally use most, or all, of the current and new accessories available in a model year. They are the Coast to Coast Trucking 3225, the 3226 Coast to Coast Haulers, and the Cross Country 3228 set. The fifth group contains the Road and Rail, and the G.I. Joe set. These are highly specialized sets that could be presented as premium sets. Both have minimal accessories, and contain lots of parts that aren't used elsewhere in US 1. Tyco, through the big 3 retail stores, also made 21 sets sold through their individual mail order catalogs. There are 2 known bonus sets sold by Sears. We can group these catalog sets into 3 groups. Group 1 are the clones to retail sets. That is, they are exact copies of retail sets, but maybe in retail boxes, or in the mail order boxes. These are the Big City, Cross County, Interstate Delivery 3206, Interstate Delivery 3208, Motor City, Interstate, Highway Construction, Fire Alert, Long Haul, Highway Overpass, G.I. Joe, Night Haulers, Coast to Coast 3225, Cross Country, and Road and Rail sets. Group 2 are the 2 Sears bonus sets, the City Hauler and Interstate Delivery 3206. Group 3 are the unique catalog exclusive sets, consisting of the Cross Country 3313, 3320 Coast to Coast, 3336 Empire, Cross Country 3344, Cross Country Boot Layout, and the Super Fire Alert set. Now that we know the players, let's dissect them, and determine what the best sets for a collection could be. We can do this by using a couple metrics. Redundancy. This metric can help to eliminate buying several of what is, more or less, the same set, even though they are technically different. Rarity. Rarity is the greatest factor in a collection. That is, you can't collect something if it never appears to be bought and collected. Unfortunately, there is a severe trend for sellers to proclaim everything as rare, to enact FOMO in a collector, causing them to throw all logic out the window when buying something. In the case of US 1 sets, there are only a handful that are truly rare. Price. Price is a pretty significant factor when collecting. It is somewhat difficult to buy something, if it is several times higher than your allocated budget. US 1 has a severe price problem. There are no price guides. There is no standard for condition. You are at the mercy of a seller, and their completed auction sold price, as well as the current trend of any type of vintage collectible getting the Midas touch. Composition. In this regard, we are looking at the individual parts in a set, and how those affect potentially rebuilding or completing an incomplete set. Now, let's apply some metrics to some sets, and see where this goes. Right off the bat, the Montgomery Ward's catalog sets are virtually impossible to find. Removing all 7 of these sets from contention isn't a real loss. It really only affects 2 sets, the Super Fire Alert, and the Cross Country 3228 with the boot shape layout. The other 5 are represented elsewhere in the pool. As a side note, I personally see these as holy shit sets. From a practical standpoint, they make no sense to recommend, as they are so rare to find. But, also, I would say if you ever do find one, it would be one rare set to own. Next would be shit canning the Stomper and the Highway Wrecker sets. The rarity, price, and composition makes these terrible sets to collect. But, if you have $750 plus, and want the ultimate capstone white whale unicorn set, these are the sets for you. Moving on, let's look at some budget sets. The Big City, City Hauler, Big Hauler, and Army Transport sets are more or less the same. They all revolve around the same price point. The composition isn't bad. Only the Army Transport is notable. Redundancy is maxed. If you buy one, you pretty much bought them all. And throwing the 3315 City Hauler bonus set in, this is actually one of the most recent. Where in the fuck has this thing been hiding? Sets. I would go for an army transport set if I had to choose just one. Next we will look at the 3206 and 3208. Both called interstate delivery. Neither one really remarkable. The only crazy thing is how Tyco messed around with the 3208, so it would be cool to get all three, just because. But for the purpose of this video, don't bother with them. Looking at Retail Group 2, the Motor City, Interstate, and Highway construction sets. Nothing remarkable here, either. Rarity is like zero. These are constantly up for sale. Price is typical. Composition only applies to the Motor City set, and specifically to the Goodyear tire dump. I guess buy 'em if you want to. And on to Group 3. Long haul, highway overpass, fire alert, and night haulers. To choose one set, highway overpass 100%. Rare, unique, but it can be pricey, and no composition issues. But, really, all are solid choices. Group 4 inbound, coast to coast 3225 and 3226, and cross country 3228 sets. And by proxy, the 3320, 3336, and 3344. Rarity is a concern, as is composition. Pricing isn't really much more than any other set. Redundancy is kind of an issue, especially if you buy 2 or 3 in this same group. As well as the cross country, in the 3344 form, is exactly like a night haulers, just adding in a fire station. If I had to choose one, it would be the 3336. Group 5. G.I. Joe and Road and Rail. G.I. Joe is very common, somewhat cheap, but holy shit the composition is horrible. If you actually buy one that is 100% complete on the first go, you're lucky. Super fun set to own though. Road and Rail is a great acquisition, if you can find one. Super rare set. The price is jacked up due to the road and rail crossings. The trucking side is bare minimum, so outside of those crossings, composition for that side is minimal. The train side is the same. The engine and cars are not hard to get. Definitely recommend it, if you can find it. In conclusion, the sets I'd recommend are the Army Transport, Highway Overpass, 3336 Coast to Coast, G.I. Joe, and the Road and Rail. And either a cross-country or night haulers if you want to close out most accessories without redundancy. Rarity may play a factor on some, but in the long game, knowing what you want, you could hold out until some prime examples do surface. I mean, a fucking sealed road and rail did surface recently, and it sold for over $3,000. I hope you found this segment informational.
Load it, hitch it, haul it, dump it. US 1 Electric Trucking.